Hi everyone. So I'm Devam, and as introduced by Sanjay, I lead the ECRM for Alshaya Group, located in Dubai right now. So I'll just very quickly start sharing my slides so that we can kick it off. It's a very short and sort of power packed session. So let's quickly start off. So the topic for today that I'm going to talk about is CRM on steroids, the new age retention. So as Sanjay said, I've been working into the field of CRM for around 6 years now. And the best part about this period of working with CRM is that I've seen CRM starting and growing from a very basic field with just talks communications to a field that talks customer data. The skill sets have evolved, the tools have evolved, that CRM tools are getting into new domains and coming into the field of CDP. So CDP being one of the biggest buzzwords that I've or rather even you would have heard in this whole Martech season. So we will through these slides, what we'll do is we'll just go through quickly about what CRM has been, where we have reached, and what exactly should comprise of your CRM strategy and customer data strategy. So I'll start off with a very a sort of a quote from Ernest Hemingway, who has got nothing to do with CRM, but definitely the quote has to. So Ernest Hemingway said, "I like to listen. I have learned a great deal from listening carefully, and most people never listen." Listening is the most important art when we talk about customer retention strategy, CRM, or even if you want to talk about customer data, which is utilized in platforms. So this is the core behind listening is the core behind the CRM strategy and execution bit. So, and that's what this quote is about. The next slide. Three pillars of CRM strategy. So yeah, when we talk about listen, obviously the first pillar has to be listening. Second pillar is understanding, and third being able to action it out. So capturing every detail of the data that might come in handy at the present or in future is to be able to listen the customer data. Understanding is all about analytics, and being able to action it out is the third most important pillar to be able to build a CRM strategy from scratch. For me personally, this has been the roadmap for wherever I have worked in CRM so far. I have like sort of done it from scratch for 2 times, so it's something which is the roadmap that you have to look into. First of all, start listening, start understanding the customer data, and then action it out. Uh, so what we have done in the last around 6 years is that we have started from a CXP, which is simply a customer experience platform, to a CDP as the field has moved into. Every single customer experience platform is now trying to get more deeper into customer data, and that's what it's about. So the CRM that we are, the age of CRM that we are into is somehow to be called as a data-driven CRM. What has been the journey so far? So the like somewhere around 2014, when we were very basic in the CRM journey, we were just talking about direct communication. We were talking about sending email and SMS to the customers whom we identified. The next step for this journey was to go automated, to be able to use triggers and automations to communicate with the customer, so that we don't need to create those basic communication every single time when we want to communicate. Third part is experiential, which was the third step of CRM, where we try to create a 360-degree customer experience driven by the customer actions. So what I'm talking about is somebody comes to your website, abandons cart, somebody goes to your store, makes a purchase, what to do with him next. So the actions which the customer is doing to be able to create a 360-degree experience around him was the third step. Now, what we are into right now is the fourth step, which is data-driven CRM. So now data feeding into a system to define the customer value. It's well advanced. It is something which is unforeseen previously. We always needed it somehow. I mean, as a CRM professional, I always knew we needed more about customer data, but I was dependent on the BI team. I was dependent upon the team who was working on the data, somehow data team providing me an Excel of sorts, giving me some data, feeding it into the CXP tool. And then that was what was feeding in what we were talking about. Now The new age CRM actually talks data. We just take the data from source, and we, the CRM professionals ourselves, can utilize that data to create actions which are valuable for the customer. This is a simple flow of journey of CRM so far. So obviously the journey is a then and now, so it always is there like that. So the channels then, so we used to have email, call, SMS back in the days. Now in this new era we have got a lot of different channels like push notifications, we have social already being connected to the CRM systems, personalization connected to the CDPs, the search connected to the CDPs, and at the same time, creating a full 360-degree way of creating customer touch points. Skills then and now. Back in the days, what we used to have as a skill for the team of CRM professionals was what? Content, design, HTML, tool and agency management, somehow being able to create campaigns online. But now what we're talking about is much more advanced. So the skill sets you need to look out in the market when you really need to build an efficient team for CRM is content, design, HTML, tool. Obviously it's there, but you also need people who have data analytics understanding of SQL, maybe JavaScript, tag management, UX, CRO, prediction modeling, AB, and multivariate testing. So these things are new skill sets which have been a requirement previously, but now they have been created into a reality. So the CRM teams and CRM professionals in the industry come inbuilt with this skill set. If not inbuilt, we have to train them. Moving on, team structures then and now. Back in the days, the team structure was primarily based on the channel. So we used to have a team within the CRM structure as an email management team, SMS management team, design and content management team, and that was more or less like it. But now the team structures, obviously, as I told you, have changed. The skill sets have changed. Now we have to create teams which are much more skill specific focus. So we talk about promotions, the promotions being something like an ad hoc communication. So the people who can look at segmentation, the people who can understand the data and create valuable customer groups to be communicated to. If I'm saying that I want to go live with a campaign today, who will define that whom should I communicate to for sending out this campaign? We can definitely not undermine the requirement of a ad hoc campaign for promotions. So we need a promotional manager who should be able to do that. Then further automation management. So we talk about triggers, we talk about abandonments, we talk about reactivating a lapsed customer audience. So all of this can be automated, and now the tools actually give us that capability. We need a team who can be specialized on this field and to be able to handle all the automation and triggers for us. The third skill specific team should be more or less into the analysis front. So when we talk about the CRM analytics team, it's more about getting the data and to be able to, so what feeds into promotion automation executions and strategy is analyzed data. So because now the tools have grown into a CDP and a CDXP in the industry, we need to have a proper analytics focused section within CRM. We don't need, so it's more self-reliant, it's more efficient. Then obviously we need a design and content manager, the same way management team, the same way that we had before. So instead of just having channel specific people, now you need much better skill specific people in the team. So this is like sort of a, I'll say, an ideal or a better team structure that we are seeing in these days. Now KPIs then and now. Back in the days, the KPIs were what? Open rate, click rate, delivery rate, conversion, looking at just how your campaigns are performing. No, not anymore. What we are talking about now is more about the overall retention focused KPIs, like customer lifetime value being on the top. Then we have repeat frequency, we have activation rate, which is more about, how you utilize, how you make sure that the people who have subscribed with you, they get activated. Reactivation rate of the customers who have lapsed. Conversion uplift, making sure that your A/B tests work well. Open rate, click rate, delivery rate definitely being in there, but we definitely do not undermine the requirement of those KPIs, but the newer KPIs are much more strong. And paid cost optimization or drop. So in a way, we are also trying to intervene into the process of optimizing the paid channels. So that's what we need to understand. Again, at the same time, web and app CVR uplift, conversion rate uplift is definitely another thing. So a lot of newer KPIs, a lot of new skill sets, and a lot of new structure of the team that we are looking at right now. That's something which is more important in the CRM of today. Now, so the topic of the day was CRM on steroids. So we need to know what are the steroids. So what could boost your retention strategies? Exactly, what are those steroids? So there are some necessary elements for the new retention. So not only that, you have to look at the how, I mean, you do not only need to send a communication, you also need to understand the customer data. So you need to have certain elements which are available in your CRM or CDP tool, whichever you want to choose. The tool should have a proper segmentation capability. The tool needs to have personalization capability. So you do not need to send one size fits all sort of communication. Now you have to be more and more personalized. You have to be able to predict. You don't need to wait for the customer behavior. So you don't, I mean, I'm sitting today, I know the customer has been there on the website. I need to know what is his lifetime value going to be like in the next 1 year, in the next 2 years. I don't need to wait for 2 years to do that. I need to predict it now. And do I need to wait? Do I need to depend on the IT or the tech team or the data team to give it to me in Excel? No, we have prediction embedded in the tools of today. We have to utilize that. Recommendation engine, again, it is I mean, it could be based on any sort of data mining technique, but a proper recommendation engine is also something which we are getting inbuilt into the tool. So this is another necessary element when you're looking for a tool in the industry. Innovation is a strategic element where we say that there are new channels in the industry. Why to just wait for the channels to grow into CRM? Why don't we go to them? For example, we talk about something like a WhatsApp. WhatsApp so far has been utilized by mostly by the customer support as a customer support function, but we need to get more innovative, and we need to use that into CRM. Why don't we think about it? So, and also the tool has to have a capability of supporting your innovation. So definitely it's a strategic element which you need to have. And identification, the quicker you ID them, the higher is the impact. You don't need to wait for them to put in their email ID. You don't need to put them to put in their phone number to just communicate to them. You have to ID them. What could you ID them with? Device ID. You have a cookie, which is a first party cookie being dropped, third party cookie is being dropped. So a lot of these new possibilities from the tools, the CDPs, which we have in the industry, they give you this capability of being able to be a little more quicker when you want to ID your customer. Then there is more. I mean, there is your ammunition. So these were the elements. Now we talk about the ammunition. What exactly is this ammunition? So we are talking about, so these are the elements which you have to find in the tool. So there should be a tag manager, the first and the foremost. It helps injecting the elements on the website, feeding important info from CDP. So for example, I have a customer set which says these are high value customers. How do I send it back into the website so that Facebook or a Google can pick it up? So this is what tag manager provides you. Webhooks, it helps you in going further than the channels which are available in the CRM tool, and embrace more newer channels in the industry. If suppose tomorrow you go to into a market where a very different social channel works, or maybe a very different dialogue channel like WhatsApp works, you need to have those webhooks to be able to connect those via APIs. That is, so webhooks is one of the most is another most important ammunition. Match and merge. The point is you have to dedupe the data. I know I myself do use multiple phone numbers, do use multiple email IDs, but how do you dedupe me into one profile? That is also a capability that you have to find out in the CDP or the CRM tool that you have that you have with you're exploring. Campaign orchestration, another thing. So gone are the days when a data platform and a CRM platform were different. Find out the tools in the industry which help you to do CRM and CDP and the customer data management in the same place. So there are tools like that which are there in the industry. Find them out. Try to find out something where you can orchestrate, you can action as well, because listening and understanding is a part of it. But if you cannot action it, you the thing is that the whole strategy is useless. uh, Fifth important ammunition element is AI and ML algorithms. Now, if you don't have that, how will your predictions work? You definitely need to have a AI. You would need to have a machine learning system so that which takes the data in and churns out a prediction. So even without the customer making a purchase, you will be able to find out what is the probability of this person to make the next purchase. What is the probability that this customer will not make a next purchase? What is the probability that the person will open the next email? So those predictions need to be worked via the artificial intelligence and machine learning algorithms. And last but not the least, SDK integrations. So if the SDK integrations are not there, how would you capture the data? There was a time when we needed to rely on a data source to be pushed through some sort of a way, putting in the data into the CRM tool. Now what we do is we have SDKs in the tools which can be implemented in your app, in your website, and captures the data from the source. And that's something which gives you a capability of actioning the data in real time. So this is something which presently helps you in creating a full CRM CDP system, or an infrastructure in your company, and gives you an edge to create the CRM strategy that you want in this day at this age. uh, I guess that's all from my slides.